Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Northfield Radio Program's Midweek Podcast. I have done my dead level best not to look at the news over the holidays, and I made the mistake this morning of actually looking at the news. Who is this guy named Klaus Schwab? Klaus Schwab. He is the head of the World Economic Forum. He is now talking about a new potential threat. Like, they've used COVID-19 to shut down the physical world pretty much. I mean, we're not able to do what we used to do, and everyone is now pretty much accepted this is the new normal. And businesses are failing, small businesses, large global entities are not, but the mom and pop shops are closing up. But that's the goal. You can't have a capitalistic entrepreneurial spirit when you have an agenda, when you want to bring about full-fledged worldwide economic communism and socialism. Well, this Klaus Schwab has has this new article on the World Economic Forum website. It says, we need to rethink cybersecurity for a post-pandemic world. Here's how. So he outlines this thing that says the next big thing that's going to happen is there's going to be a massive cyber security threat that could just cripple the entire world and bring the entire world down and destroy everything. Well, as I'm listening to him, I will link a YouTube video where he says all this stuff, where he talks about this impending cyber attack that's coming. How does he know that this cyber attack is coming? Where did this come from? He says, well, it all begins in March with scams and phishing efforts related to the COVID-19 emergency. He then goes on and says, such impersonations of authority figures such as a World Health Organization individual or a global government institution, that's the problem. And then he says, the start of the pandemic also clearly showed how unprepared we were for protecting home users and remote work users in this whole thing. So the pandemic has definitely changed the world, and that includes cybersecurity. While reflecting on the past 3 months, this was written obviously a couple months ago, in a post-pandemic world, 3 specific highlights emerge. And so he goes on in this article talking about how the challenges in a post-pandemic world and how we can have cybersecurity and how we need to really reevaluate the internet and how we need to lock it down on certain levels and have better security, because there's, so much quote-unquote fake news out there, and we can't have freedom of thought and speech on the internet. Why? Because if you want to lock down and control everything, you've got to lock down the internet. And this is the guys, listen to me. Here's my prediction. Within the next 12 months, the internet will not be usable like it is today. It is presently a free market system. This will be gone soon. We will be like China with a locked down internet, and we will no longer be allowed to use the internet the way we currently do. Why? Because you cannot have a global government. Guys, we're seeing this unfold right in front of us. Like, it is unfolding. I said back in March, guys, this thing's going to go bad. Go back and find one of my podcasts from March. I told you all that they were restructuring the entire system. And I am still holding fast to this. They are restructuring the normal brick and mortar world. And they are fixing to restructure the internet in such a way that you will not be able to do your business. There will not be any more entrepreneurial spirits where you can get on Etsy and create and build and make money. I got friends that are using Etsy, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, creating products and doing creative things. And you will no longer be able to do that soon. I make the prediction in the next 12 months, this whole thing will be shut down and we will not be able to use the internet the way it is. And I know you say, oh, that's a conspiracy theorist. There he is. There's the old conspiracy. Like, guys, they're no longer hiding it. They're no longer couching it in verbiage that sounds palatable. They're coming out and saying, this is what we're going to do. Like, they've realized that they can shut the world economy down and create a new global government if they just push this COVID-19 thing far enough. Like, that's the goal, is to have a global government. And guys, I need you all to pay attention. And if we don't pay attention to this, we will be just willing and useful serfs to the higher echelons of these crony communists. That's it. That's it. I mean, there's plenty of information here. The last part of this article literally tells us that until COVID-19 is completely eradicated as an epidemic, and until the general public becomes less anxious about the threat it poses, we will likely still see a variety of even more cyber threats using COVID-19 as their cover and performing malicious activities. So, like, they're pushing and they're shoving and they're nudging and saying, listen, we need to lock down this whole internet thing because of COVID-19 malicious phishing and malicious hackers. So the minority of internet users that are using it for nefarious purposes are going to dictate to the majority of internet users that are not doing it for malicious purposes. That makes complete sense. Okay. Guys, we've pretty much been locked down, and human beings are terrified right now. Human beings are terrified of everything. Like, I have had conversations in Walmart because I refuse to wear a mask because I think it is a complete Ponzi scheme and it is a scam-demic. Now, do I think that the virus is legitimate? Yes, but you have a 99.8% chance of recovering. People are not dying from COVID-19. They are dying because they have crummy immune systems. And guess what? If you have a crummy immune system, if you get a cold, you could potentially die. So what are people dying from? They're dying because they have crummy immune systems. And I know it sounds cold and calculated, but I'm just telling you, death is part of life. Every one of us dies. My mom got cancer, and she died because she got cancer. Do I like it? No, I don't like it. But because we live in a sin-riddled, sinful and fallen world, this is the problem. Until Jesus comes and establishes his kingdom on this planet, do not expect anything different, because here's the promise we have from the Lord Jesus Christ in the Word, that it is appointed unto man once to die. We have an appointment with death. And shackling up the world, which y'all can think I'm crazy and a conspiracy theorist, but I'm telling you, they want to shackle up the entire globe and be able to have a few rulers. But guess what? That's biblical. Like, we're seeing this. I'm not on this podcast saying, listen, Jesus is coming now, but he could. I can tell you this much, that today is closer than yesterday for Christ's return. Christ could come anytime. But we're seeing the beginning setup of the Antichrist system, the Antichrist world order. It's coming. And this is this COVID-19 thing. This is where people go, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. People are genuinely terrified. Oh, I don't trust the media, but yet we trust the media. We listen to him. Oh, the guy on CNN said that it's bad, so we better lock up our houses. The guy on Fox News said I better wear a mask, so I better wear a mask. When did we become these useful idiots? Like, this is crazy. A virus that has a 99.8% chance of you recovering. I know a couple of people that have died from this. But let me tell you something. It wasn't the virus that killed them. It was just an add-on. They had something else that was going on, whether it was cancer, whether it was a heart issue, whether it was pneumonia, something else. COVID-19 just sort of kind of enhanced what was already the problem in their life. A weakened immune system. How do we bolster our immune system? My friend Bill Sardi has told us we need to take more vitamin C, more vitamin D, and zinc. And I would suggest throwing in some elderberry, little oil of oregano probably wouldn't hurt. Like, these are things that need to be taken. That's what I'm taking. And guess what? I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I have a good immune system. Thank God I have a good immune system. But we can strengthen our immune system by taking supplements and eating properly. Like, putting things into our system that are good. Like, that's what we need to do. We don't need to lock the world down. We don't need to lock the internet down, which I'm making the prediction it's going to, within the next year, the internet will be locked down. And if it's not, I'll come back on here and say, hey, I was wrong. Here's the things I got wrong. But I was not wrong, and I'm not wrong about what happened with COVID-19 and shutting down businesses. I said in March, listen, we do this, it's going to destroy the economy. And guess what? It's destroying the economy. We're in the midst of the destruction. And now they want to give another $2,000. Originally it was $600, but now they're pushing for $2,000 for everybody. This is the opening door. This is the opening of Pandora's box for a universal basic income, which leads us directly into communism. Like, this is the road. This is the path. And everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I've done my research. This is what is going to happen. And it's going to be problematic, and the capitalistic system, the small business, the people who own businesses and have the capability of hiring and keeping people fed in small business worlds is going to be eradicated. And we will have to go to the government for our money. And if we're not doing what the government tells us to do, like getting a vaccination shot, getting a mark, doing this, they'll cut us off. We better be paying attention and preparing now. All right. That is what I see this week. Happy New Year. Oh, goodness.